Dun dun dun. Uncle L here. And a disclaimer, do your own research. This might not be you. Um, yeah, so just do your own research. Phone's acting a little weird. I've never had so many errors. I took it fishing about a month ago. Ran it for like 3 hours straight, not even one issue recording. So, anytime we gotta mention we'll just put that right there. So, that's out of the way. Again, do your own research. This is all hypothetical. Um, Sign up. They did away with the sign up, I believe. They're having some problems over in Texas. And you used to be able to go walk in, sign up, X amount of. I'll get you some dates here. I got a few letters, but sign up. Yeah, they used to have a sign up, seeing how many people would sign up. I signed up right the day or the day after I was eligible, and did not get. Ooh, and there's a whole bunch of offers that roll in. DSL, cable, everybody wants to keep you as a customer. So if you're an existing customer and you don't want, you might be able to get you a cheaper discount. So just pay attention. It's like a frenzy. Uh, See if you can better your deal or sign up. Um, the two key things that you must know is above ground and below ground. So if you're in an older subdivision, uh, they're doing micro trenching, and I have a micro trenching video up, so go check that out. But here's the thing: is that has some limitations, and above ground, so the power poles, and from what I hear is, and they're battling over the power poles too, because they're just zip tying it on to the cable guys, or I don't know how they really hang it, but they're battling over the power poles. I don't know who owns the power poles, the city or what, but they're just getting lawsuits left and right. So if you're in an existing neighborhood, your phone line comes in underground, you're not in an apartment complex, generally you're going to be underground, and what happens is they don't want to dig up the backyards, the fences. You got gas lines, power lines, water lines, and they're having all sorts of issues. But that's your two keys, regardless of any fiber, I should say. So there's a couple other contenders, AT&T. If you don't have it access to where your lines come in on a power pole, your your chances are pretty low. They're going to have to do the micro trenching up front. So that's just a heads up. Who is Google? Whoa. Almost messed up. Um, so it's like the Trump Tower. So again, do your own research. So maybe the Alphabet Corporation, they manage maybe YouTube or something. Just all their internet base. Next is ABC Marketing, and that might be who's in charge of the fiber stores. So they do all that, ABC Marketing, so they're marketers, and I believe there's a call center in Boise, so I'm not sure who they fall under. And lastly is SCI cable or SCI cable. I'm not sure which is which, but if you look at the fiber vans, that's who does their installs of the micro trenching, whatnot. So those, and I believe the one that refused me was SCI. So they want to keep isolated, or maybe they want to sell it sometime, but then they have no liability because they're all contracted out and they can just light a match and get rid of them and call it good. So maybe that's just to deal with lawsuits and stuff. Next up is install crews. So there's not one person who does start to finish, especially in micro trenching. Micro trenching, they got this saw that zips down. The next guy comes through and blows out the thing. The next guy comes in and puts in the wire. The next guy puts some goop over the top. The next guy cuts a hole in the sidewalk. And the next guy runs a little box in the sidewalk. Then finally, another guy comes in, runs the wire under the lawn or wherever, and mounts the little box to the house. Well, no, he just goes to the house and leaves the wire hanging out. Another guy comes over and mounts the box to the house. And then finally, there's a guy that comes in, two guys I think that comes in. One runs a wire inside the dwelling, and the next guy puts in the thermostat. And then there might be one final guy to set you all up if you got TV and whatever. So there's no easy fix. Alright, we're in a fiber area. Well, we'll just go ahead and say it, because they're tagging when you upload a video now. So we are in the Salt Lake area. There's Sugar House, and I believe they call it West Point. So what happens there is you got two of them, two areas. Check customer service. Again, do your own research. The city is not allowing them to renew their permits. So they got one shot to get you signed up. So that's where I fall in. Maybe they'll renew it down the line. But they passed me up on the first go around. So those permits limit them from reestablishing new customers, because they went through the first time and they go, okay, we let you install the first customers. So if you're not in on the first wave, check 3, go to the store, space, go to call the 1-800 number. Oh, let's go right here. Call the 1-800 number and then email. And they'll just outright tell you, hey, yeah, no go on that. Make sure you have the pricing plans too. Initially when they came in, they said, oh yeah, we're in an experimental market. It could be free for you if you select the lower plan. I went to the upper plan. But make sure you check all that, and make sure before you're buying a house, moving into an apartment, it has a little thermostat on the wall. I can't remember what it's called. That is crucial, because now if you call up, buy the house, say, oh yeah, it's in the fiber area, they don't have the permits to recut the holes in the ground, run the lines. They need permits. And from what I gather, they're not getting the permits reissued. So beware of that. Go to space and find you the right person. Unfortunately, my guy left. That's where I got all these goodies. But I was like, you know what? This is sort of off. I like investigating businesses. Why would you put fiber on here and not there? And then that right there, this has been expired from 2 years ago. This hot chocolate. Let me see what the date is on here. Well, we're trying not to beat them up too much, but this was 2016. So who knows what area that was coming out of. And that is amazing. So go to Google Fiber, find your right person, go to the fiber store if you're moving in, and space, and double check. They'll tell you, no, we're not. Come back, check in. Come back, check in. have a backup, especially if you own a online business or you work from home. Make sure you have a backup plan. I went walking around looking at micro trenches, see that other video, and some of it seems suspect. So make sure if you're in a new development area, make sure you get cable lines in, make sure you get the telephone DSL set up just in case. Like I say, this is they could just sell it at a heartbeat's notice and say we're done with it, we'll take a loss. So make sure you have those three options or more. Am I a little pissed? I think so. I don't know. I went walking around to the micro trenching doing that video, and I'm like, ooh, there might be some foreseeable problems down the line. The cost to me, I held out. Oh, I gotta show you the letters. I held out, and it cost me extra per month because I didn't want to renegotiate my contract, or I didn't want to buy the modem. I think the modem was $100+. Yeah, it's been a pain. Now I'm gonna have to upgrade my phone line. So I wish I would have upgraded way back when, and then that way I would have been like, oh, okay, you're not coming, that's fine. But what happened was, over the span of time, oh, and then my info. If I was signing up, I wouldn't have gave them my credit card, nothing, if I knew they was going to decline me. But now I believe they're having problems in other states, so the pre-sign up is almost gone. Alright, we're just going to go through and, but this is my initial sign up for welcoming me aboard. And that was on 11 something. So I think they've been in 3 business cycles in my neighborhood. So I think I'm done. Unless something happens, So the next letter I got, so this is why I was like questioning who's running this. So the next letter I got was this. And again, the neighbor already had it about a month or so when this came in. So and then so SCI or SIC Cable, the contractor, has the ability to decline you due to costs, which is weird, which I think you would want everybody on board the first go around, so this would be a success nationwide, but I guess they didn't want me. So they call you up, I rescheduled, and here's a tip. You get a free terabyte, but as long as every 5 business days, as long as you chime in and open up a new thing, I just said, you know what, I'm still waiting for the contractors to contact me. And I still got my terabyte of space, but then they took away my terabyte of space. But usually you can escalate problems, but again, these are different entities, different companies, and they're all different. I even got a cancellation guy call me up. That's when I knew to renew every 5 days my issue. But then after about a month and a half, 2 months, I just gave up, and then all of a sudden, wham, this letter showed up. And it was at 3 a.m. Well, I just rounded up the numbers. I didn't want to give them. Yeah. So again, see, then it's the NIU. I believe that's the small box outside your house. And then there's another one right before you go in your house. And then there's a thermostat looking one. So, wham. So after all that work and whatnot, it was in vain. Just be careful. Hopefully Uncle L's here to make some more videos. Make sure nothing happens. He's out.